Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode, number two on the Triple Dose Friday list. We are, of course, on some Dynasty scrolls. So, welcome back for all those that are the OGs, and of course, welcome if anyone is new or visiting. Don't be afraid to hit that like, subscribe, and notification button. We do this on the daily occasion, and we do like to play a bit of Dynasty Scrolls action. Now, today on Beginner Guide Friday, I figure we can cover the transformation aspect within the game. It's going to tie a little bit into the outfits of your protagonist as well, because essentially, I mean, there are some rules, I guess, that should probably be followed. Unwritten rules that I would probably talk about. It may be confusing for those that are new and visiting. So if you do have any questions at all, hit me up in the comment section down below. Or if you are feeling a little bit adventurous, you can always jump into our Discord. There will be a link there as well. Ask as many questions as you like. Everyone is friendly and we love new faces. Anyway, transformations. So once you unlock this pesky little thing that I guess we can start from here, they'll be in your main protagonist. Now, all the other ones can't be transformed. They can get outfits, however, but that's not really technically a transformation. Transformation is only for your main protagonist. So when you click on the transformation tab, basically it'll appear like this. And so depending on which transformation avatars you have unlocked, you'll then be able to either activate them for the first time, which is very important, and then of course you'll be able to transform into them. Now, to preface this, when you start, it's probably unlikely that you're going to start out or have access to an epic transformation type hero. The reality is you're probably going to have access to the rare ones and the common ones to begin with. And that's okay. And that's absolutely acceptable. And we'll talk a little bit about where to access those to begin with. So if you go into here, if you click on here and you click the Legion shop and you go to essentially the appearance tab, what I want to probably highlight is you're going to need to be in a Legion, right? That's probably the most important takeaway from all of this in order to be able to access this for I guess, reasonably free currency base. I would say you need to be in an active Legion and doing your task to get some Legion currency. Now, in terms of what you can actually acquire, well, you can get your base rares, which is fine, or your commons, I guess these would be called. And if you've got a little bit more of the Legion currency up, you can start to purchase some of your rares. Now, most players, when they start out, they think that they need to go with the faction that they're currently building. The good news is for a protagonist, you don't need to worry about faction. See how none of these actually have any faction indicators? Like, for instance, this guy's probably Shu. Actually, don't know what he is, to be honest. I know for a fact this guy's Warlord. Um, but again, he doesn't actually show a Warlord indicator, meaning it doesn't have any impact on your entire team's affinity. So feel free to check these guys out. Pick ones that suit your team builds. Now, I have to preface and say that these are the very base level things. Like, there's nothing, I would say, phenomenal that these guys bring to the party. But if you want to play around and get the transformations, absolutely go for it. As you can see, I bought them all out. I'm a dirty skin collector. I love my transformations, but probably top two would probably be Fang Zheng. So Fang Zheng's skill has a 40% chance to restore own rage by two. That's not terrible. Own rage by two is not terrible. This guy here, when essentially he attacks the front row, the entire front row, and he has a chance to restore himself. So he's kind of good. In terms of the, I guess, raw percentage of damage, he's probably not as high as, say, this guy who deals 250% physical damage, but he only hits a single target. This guy's more of an AoE column kind of thing, and this guy restores rage, but he hits two people. But he ignores defense, which is actually important. It's still a bit of a chunk. 193% magic damage is pretty cool. Now, in terms of what happens next. So once you've bought your Legion avatar, you go over to your transformation. It'll say something like, oh, I noticed that you got yourself a avatar. It doesn't say that. It basically just comes up on the first little page and it says activate. And then you click activate and then it says transform. Then you click transform and then boom, all of a sudden you are this avatar in battle. Now, if you don't want to obviously use this avatar or you want to switch it up, you just hit the cancel tab and it defaults you back to your original skin. Are you following? So essentially, your original skin starts to play a little bit more of a significant role. Now, when I talk about original skin, I'm talking about your outfits. When you start the game out, I believe you start with your common outfit, which is this one. You kind of have to size this up because you do magic damage to three random enemies. A lot of the transformation charms are better than that, personally speaking. So it's definitely worthwhile getting some of the rare ones like Fang Zheng or whoever. Basically, because he's just going to be better than your generic outfit. However, if you are a VIP 5, I would recommend sticking with your VIP 5, mainly because you have a 25% chance to stun the front row, as you can see here. This is not a terrible idea. If you spent the money, I'd say use this until you can acquire something a little bit more, special. But in terms of this, you can also acquire the Legion outfit. If you're wondering for a free to play perspective, you can still buy this, and it does some pretty solid stuff. It's an investment, right? It's an investment. It's going to cost you 3k gold. If you don't like any of the transformation charm effects, you can always just spend the gold, and you can spend the Legion currency and buy this guy out. In terms of this, though, you should be able to get this for free. I believe on day 7 on a new account, you should be able to get Silver Spear. This one's probably not a bad one because it has a chance to reduce targets' rage by 2, and it has a chance, obviously, to increase 20% more crit on that attack. Now, the only problem is it is a single target attack. So you really do need to gauge how your team is working, whether or not you need single target damage, whether or not you need AoE damage. You need to figure that out yourself. But if you do have questions, hit me up in that comment section below, of course. Now, in terms of the one that I currently have equipped, obviously, it's once you level this up, when I say level up, if you go into your outfit, you go here. Wait a second. Where are we? You go enhance. Yeah, normally comes up with the option. So you can enhance this thing. And when you enhance the levels, you need outfit essence to do this. You get additional features, and which makes them really, really strong. So it's it's a bit of a juggling game. Early on, I would recommend if you're a VIP 5, use the VIP skin. If you're not, if you're a free to play player, definitely check out the other transformations that are available in the Legion shop. If you like them, you can buy them all out. I mean, let's be honest, if you buy them all out, you can test them all. I mean, if you're that active, sure. I mean, you're going to get back the Legion currency anyway. And once you do that and activate them in your index, you'll then be able to get corresponding bonuses. So there are a couple of reasons and I guess incentives as to do why to do that. As you can probably see, you get defense statistics, attack, magic, HP. I'm reading down what the active says down here. So you really need to have the corresponding tiles lit up anyway. And that kind of, I don't know, for those that like collecting, this is like an additional bonus that others might not have. HP is HP, attack's attack, right? It's not a bad thing to unlock them progressively. Of course, when you hit the epic stage, though, that's when things get a little bit sus. These ones are harder, much harder to acquire. At least so far within this game, like this global version, it's a lot harder to get than maybe the Chinese version. Maybe they've opened up ways to get epic avatars. But here you're pretty limited getting epics, and you're very limited in getting legendaries. There's only 2 events where you can acquire it, and it basically requires money or lots and lots of gold and RNG over a very, very long time of very, very long period. But oof, sexy man Lu Bu's there. Where's Chow Chow? Chow Chow? There he is. Oh, Chow Chow. I hear you're a broken ass hero, Chow Chow, but probably not as broken as Lu Bu. Anyway, in terms of this, as I said, feel free to explore your options, and if you I guess, what's the word here? If you do have some of the wishing crystals left over, if you're free to play, you should be buying your legendary hero shards, the ones that you're building, and work towards building that. Generally speaking, that's where I would probably recommend you focus on. But if you find yourself in a surplus of wishing stones and you're like, you know what, I just want to fill out my index or want to test out something else, this is where you can do it. As you can see, I did invest and buy all of these ones that are currently available to fill out my index. Um, yeah. Would I recommend you doing that? No. Would I say explore a couple of the options? Sure. Sharpie is not too bad. He has a 30% chance to reduce the target's enemy by rage. Sorry, rage by one, and he hits three enemies. Who else is pretty good here? Um, I actually feel like he's probably one of the better ones. This guy's not too bad though. He has a chance to reduce target's attack by 15%. He attacks the back row. Has a 60% chance. But he only hits a single target, which is probably a little bit of a downside to that. Shelpy's probably the better one out of there. If you picked any of the other ones, let me know which ones you like to. If you decided to go down the path of getting them from the wish shop. But ultimately, you should probably be saving these up for your first epic, which will be, of course, Sun Quan. Sun Quan is, I just got clicked out of it, sorry. He does physical damage to a single enemy with a 50% chance to stun that target for 1 round. He increases, obviously, his attack and accuracy by 25%. Phenomenal hero for Trial of Towers if you're lacking stuns and CCs. This guy can potentially stun the first enemy so they can't attack you, which gives you enough opportunity to get another attack off and potentially win the fight. So this guy really is pretty valuable. I bought him. I was leaning towards Dong Zhao, but let's be honest, I feel like Sun Quan is a little bit more versatile. So we went with that. But of course, check out the other ones. See if you like any of these. Puppet Chew could be cool. Um, this guy could be cool. If it works for your team, it works for your team. But honestly, for me, I believe Sun Quan is the way to go. Now, that kind of leads me to the last part of, I guess, the beginner's guide tutorial is when you get the transformation event appearing on your server. There's actually two ways to get the currency. I'll see real quick if there's a is there sometimes they have it up there. There's like a little box. It's pay to winny though. I mean, you get them for free. I don't have any examples of them. Like little chests that you can get later on, and they have like a 0.8% chance to drop an epic charm. Um, it's not very high. You could spend hundreds of dollars on it and never get it. But for those that know, transformation event, check out my previous videos about it as well. Essentially, you can collect transformation charms and you can collect paper charm shards to turn into full transformation charms to then exchange for epic avatars or legendary avatars. I wouldn't recommend going for an epic avatar down this path. I think the wish shop is much better. I would keep saving to get the 5 paper charms, 5 full complete copies of a paper charm will then get you a legendary avatar. It's a little bit hard to describe it. Like I said though, if you want to check out a previous transformation event video, I cover everything there and you can see, sort of what you would need to do that. The drop rates though are fairly low, like they're atrociously bad, and it will take you a very long time to acquire a epic or legendary shard. Basically, it's going to take you a very long time. So that's one way of doing it. Another way, of course, is when the arms race does appear. Essentially, this is kind of like you can get this for free, right? It's going to cost you gold. You're going to have to buy out all of your gold instants, so it's going to cost you 5k every time this event appears, and you're going to exchange them for some gold or ultimate merit. So the ultimate merit badges are exchanged for gold flags down here. Did we get anything? What did we get? Hey, we got some more gold. I'll take that all day long. So ultimate merit badges are kind of the goal of this entire event. So once you get the ultimate merit badges, you can save these. You don't have to spend them. Most people do though, but if you want to save them all up, you can save them all up for 1,000, and then of course acquire a legendary avatar this way. When I say legendary avatar, I mean legendary transformation. Essentially, it's an avatar, but you're transforming into that hero, right? I mean, it's going to take you a long time. It's going to take you a long time to do it with your charms. It's going to take you a long time to do it with your merit badges. It's up to you. Whichever strategy you decide to take, it's again up to you. Um, honestly, I think this is the easiest way. This is probably the easiest way because Arms Race appears like every week. That's like an inside joke for those that know the OGs. This is like a weekly occurrence. So you're going to be able to get a lot of these merit badges, but of course it's still going to cost you 5k gold in order to start accumulating them. But if you have a weakness for all things skins like I do, I think you're probably going to spend it on skins. I wouldn't recommend doing that though. In all honesty, you should be focusing mainly on getting your first legendary hero through the shard chests. And for the OGs in the house, they probably are working on their legendary charms, or alternatively, they are buying their dirty skin collections, which I definitely will be a part of that later on. But yes, I think I should cover that little bit of an aspect of where to get the legendaries. That's sort of, it's a very lengthy process. It is entirely possible to do it without spending a single dollar on the game. It's just going to take you a lot longer, and I think that's the path that I'm going to go down as well. Now, eventually they may appear in the wishing shop as options to purchase them in shard forms. I don't know if that ever will become a reality, but if it does, well, I guess we'll investigate that when that happens. I assume it would be here, and maybe they'd be like, what, 10,000 wishing stones or something, maybe more. Who knows? Who knows? It'd be probably a very, very pricey legendary. But anyway, focus on getting your daily wishing stones. These unlock at level 60 if you're curious, and you can get quite a lot of them throughout the day. Of course, you know, it is what it is. You just need to keep progressing along. You need to keep making sure you are focusing on, you know, advancing your players. So don't be afraid to experiment and try new things. If you found this semi-informative, if you have any questions, let me know. If I can assist you, or you have ideas for other beginners guides, let me know as well. But I will catch you all in the next one. Thanks for watching.